So we have a full moon happening on June 11th, 2025. It's going to be happening at 20 degrees Sagittarius. This is also going to be a full moon that is going to close out the nodal environment that we've had since sort of end of January. And it's going to move us away from gates 36 and 6. It's kind of a transitional energy because just in a couple days, we'll be moving into the new nodal cycle, which is the 22 and also the 47. So a huge shift in energy, but this is what you would call Ra Uru, who used to call it the interregnum, or the middle between the two areas that we're going to move. So it's like a bridge. What we're really seeing right now in the world in general, and especially in this full moon, is the cross of planning getting louder and louder. And it's not just cross of planning, it's also the cross of Maya because there's a primary and a secondary cross. And the cross of Maya is fully engaged in the Maya, which is materialism. And the cross of planning is tribal energy and materialism as well. And keep in mind that when I talk about these energies, these are global energies, these are in the world energies. And so when I'm talking about a full moon or a new moon or even the month ahead energy, it really is connected to the overall energy. And it's not like a personal energy as much as it is sort of a global energy. We can all tap into it, but it doesn't mean that if you have this specific gate that that's the way it's going to play out for you and that you feel this. And sometimes it does. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't, but but I think that when you take a global aura and you have all different people within the energy and they all have different expressions, if you look at the idea of people living in more of a reactive state instead of a proactive or creative state, then you see that it's easier to see what we would call the not the highest version of the energies that we see in the world. And so sometimes when I talk about the energy in that it can bring out not the best in humanity. That doesn't mean it's a blanket statement on the energy. There are people in the world who express the energy in very high functioning ways. So, for instance, let's look at gate 26, and that is part of this particular full moon. And if you look at gate 26, you could say it's the trickster, it's about exaggeration, it's about lies. It can be all those types of things. But then it can be an energy that is in so integrity for making sure that everybody gets their fair share, making sure that all the types of interactions or sales or whatever things you do, it's all about a win-win. So we have those types of energies, and everything is an evolution of who you are from the beginning of your life, who your parents were or who your caregivers were, your life. It is all about the influences, the conditioning, all those energies that culminate into one type of person. And it's not just one gate, obviously, it's going to be so many other gates, and they're all going to come together to form a picture of who we are. We could have people born almost at the exact same time, the exact same day, but completely different energy of when they were growing up, who conditioned them, what opportunities did they have for growth. And especially now, because we have the shifting energy that we're moving into something new, the new direction, the new global cycle in 2027, we see that, as I've mentioned over and again, and I probably sound like a broken record, but it is this idea of a lot of noise, a lot of loudness, and it's all related to greed. It's all related to money. It's all related to taking more and more. The overarching big themes we have is materialism, we have resistance, and we also have think before you speak. And think before you speak is one of those energies that is very powerful. And it's going to be even more powerful because we also have Jupiter going into that energy as well. Now, think before you speak is gate 52, line 1. It is an energy about sort of being careful about what you're going to say because at this particular time, for this full moon and going forward for the next couple of weeks until the next moon phase in the new moon, it is about a time where it's very easy to overshare. It is a time when you may not actually think about what you're going to say and you say something and you regret it. So especially now, especially with Mercury in gate 52 line 1, it is about potential for oversharing, posting something that you said, oh shoot, I shouldn't have posted that, and getting reactions that you never thought about. With Gate 36 still in the mix, this is about doing things and not realizing the consequences that might come with what you did. And especially with what you say, what you write, because it's all about communications. This could be through social media, legacy media, or those types of things. And it is that energy of basically saying, I shouldn't have said that. So this full moon is absolutely asking us all to really be careful with what we say because it may come back to haunt us if we say too much, if we overshare. The other perspective is with Mars in gate 29, line 3, we're looking at this idea of evaluation. And 29 line 3 is Mars is exalted in this energy. What this is saying is that you are sitting and waiting for the right opportunity. You know that the right opportunity is coming, but you don't know exactly when it's coming, but you know it's going to come. And sometimes it's better to sit and wait rather than to go out and blurt and say something or try and make things happen, and then you don't get what you really want to get. With the background frequency with gate 36 still active, it means that you may not necessarily get what you think you're going to get when you're making big and bold moves. It is about waiting. And if you're waiting and actively, being aware of what's happening and looking for opportunities that might show up because they will show up based on Uranus, which I'll talk about in a second, you are going to be in the right place at the right time to receive the right opportunities. It is also about saying yes to the right things that will benefit you in your life. And that is another thing that Mars is asking us to do. So if you do that, then you're going to not speak in a way where it might come back to haunt you. Uranus in gate 8 line 5 is a really interesting energy, and it does sort of stick with the same theme of resistance, but it also gives an opening for opportunities. In some ways, this line kind of acts like gate 48 in that it is this belief that I'm not ready to go out into the world. I'm not ready to share my individuality with the world. I need something more. And you might get this energy from yourself or somebody else tells you, "Oh, you're not ready yet." And yet there are opportunities showing up in your trajectory. And again, it is connected to the idea of waiting for the right timing. But when it happens, that's when you have to be ready to take the opportunities because Mars is going to, wait until it's the right timing, but it's easy enough just to let it go by too, which is not what we want to do either. This is basically saying that if you feel that you're not ready to share your uniqueness with the world, but there's opportunities and you're holding yourself back, well, the thing about uniqueness is that it is not a skill or a mastery that you have to accomplish. This is basically just you showing your you-ness to the world, and it doesn't get any more advanced the longer you wait. If an opportunity shows up, it's the time to actually take the opportunity if it feels good, if it feels like you want to do it. And so this is saying don't have the resistance to change because you might miss out an opportunity. We could say there's resistance to take opportunities, but there's also the ability with Mars there to know when the right opportunities are there for you. So if you lean into the flow, because gate 29 and also gate 15 are all about the flow and being in your own flow, because the only place where all your gifts are is in your flow. And this is, especially with Jupiter in gate 15, is encouraging us all to be in our own flow, to walk our own path, to not follow the path of other people. There's this whole idea that, t somebody did something on TikTok, and so they're the renowned person for whatever it is. And then people try and follow that same path, and then it doesn't work out for them the same way. And that is what this energy is saying. Your path is yours. You are unique. You have to believe in yourself because you know best what's good for you. In Uranus in gate 8 line 5 means that it's easy for you to lean into the idea of self-doubt, but also the idea that other people don't believe in your skills. Instead of knowing inside that you are ready for something and you are ready to walk into an opportunity because it's presented itself in a way that you know that it's right for you. You can feel it. It's your inner knowing. Now, from a global perspective, when I talk about gate 52 line 1, this looks like world leaders saying things that are very extreme, very outlandish, very out there, stirring up a lot of things. And then when we have the new moon coming, the end of the month, this is where we have sort of the repercussions or the consequences coming into play of what was said. This is powerful energy that there will be things said and articulated in a way where it is extreme and it is about more about just trying to get attention and to try and make people, I guess, toe the line. And it could be something related to the legal system, justice, anything related to Jupiter and higher education. And I know there are things happening with universities being told that they can't have foreign students and those types of things. And what I think is going to happen with this is that we are going to have more of an elevation of this type of energy, more extremes happening with this type of energy in ways that we haven't seen before, especially with Jupiter in gate 15, but especially with this new moon, because we're seeing that there's this stirring of the pot. Look, this is what I can do, and you will listen to what I say because I am the leader. And it all comes back, all of this energy comes back to materialism because there is gate 45, line 4 is one of the most materialistic energies of the body graph. And there's nothing wrong with materialism for tribal energy. Materialism is important because we need to have money and we need to have energy to support ourselves. Of course, anything can go overboard, and that's what this energy is has the potential to do, to go overboard, to demand money, to demand that you get some enrichment or benefits or something coming to you because you feel that you are the supreme leader and that you need to get money and as much as you can. And I will say one thing in this new moon that I didn't mention in the overview for the month of June. So I wanted to say that because I think it's something of value and I think it's kind of interesting to watch it as a transit, is that the most powerful person in the world, the most powerful leader in the world, the President of the United States, this is somebody who has gate 12 as their personality sun, a hanging gate 12 as their personality sun. Well, when the nodes move, we're going to have basically several months, right until November, from June until November, there's going to be a 1222 channel. Now, this is powerful energy. When you're used to the 35-36 channel, which is what he generally has, suddenly you have the 1222. It can make you erratic, emotional, you can be angry. There's a lot of different things that can come with this energy because it is unfamiliar to you. And if you're not aware of what's happening, it's very easy to be reactionary. I feel that we will see a lot of reactionary energy based on this transit. The last time this happened, where he had a long transit of gate 22, was when Neptune was there. And that was a time during the COVID pandemic, and a lot of things were happening during that time right up until the election and the inauguration of the next president. It was all that energy, and this is potentially a resurgence of that type of erratic energy. If you don't know that this transit is part of the energy that is in the atmosphere or in the environment, then it's easy to be reactionary. And the reason why we do all these transits and these we get this information is it's solely to know that if we feel a certain way, sometimes it can be an energy. We have a tribal leader who is basically enriching themselves, trying to get more for themselves. Now, tribal energy is about a tribal leader who takes care of their people. They promise to take care of their people, and they get gifts. They get lots of gifts. It's not like it's a job of poverty. They do well, but the tribe has to do well too. But if the tribe isn't doing well, if this leader, this tribal leader is taking more and more and more from the people, but not really supporting them, then this is where things start to shift. This is what we see in the world right now. We see people enriching themselves, people getting more, and it's all on the backs of regular folk who are just trying to make a living. And so this is the trend that we see happening right now that is about what you own, what you have. Gate 26 is about what you own, what you have, which means that on the global or the world stage, we will see a lot of shows of wealth. We will see a lot of shows of, I have all this. This is who I am. This is makes me better than you. Because gate 26, as much as it can be about a win-win situation, selling something that somebody needs, and both of you are gaining something. So you go to a used car dealership, the person sells you a car that is a good car, and you pay them, and they get something and you get something. And that's how it should work. But that's not always how it works. And this energy is showing that there's potential because Jupiter's in gate 15, potential for extremes in how tribal leaders are enriching themselves. There could be an extreme in lies, exaggeration. When we look at gate 26, line 4, where the earth and the moon are, this is a very interesting energy in that it's called censoring. Now, the whole point of censoring for gate 26 is if you are a salesperson and you need to go out every day and tell people, okay, this is why you need this new and improved something or other. And how many times will you get a sale? Just think about telemarketing. How many times have you picked up the phone and it's been a telemarketer and you basically did not want to talk to them? And when that happens, if that person who's a telemarketer took that energy and said, oh my gosh, I shouldn't do this anymore. It's too hard. There's too many obstacles. People don't like me. This doesn't work for me. You take it very personally. Well, it's going to be much harder for you to go back out and do it again. And that's what Gate 26 Line 4 is really about. But on a global stage, you could look at this as being censoring, as in things are being censored. We're not getting the whole story. Things are being doctored so that it looks like it's better than it is. And it's going to be connected to tribal leaders. It is going to be connected to the powers that be. And it's going to be about potentially money and that they're doctoring or censoring what people know about where the money's going. I really look at this as being something about the economy, something about financial things, financial systems, something about the big picture of how things are going being hidden away so that the tribal leader looks good. If there's one thing to be said about the month ahead of June, it's like there's good potential that we will see extremes because Jupiter is in gate 15. With gate 15, line 3, this is talking about extremes just to be extreme, not really to have a reason. The whole reason why we have extremes in the patterns, and it seems like it would be counterintuitive when you want clear patterns and sort of stability in the future. But there are some times in our lives that we have to really sort of do extreme things to get things back online. And that's what Gate 15 is about. And so this is basically saying, what are the extreme things we need to do to get back online? But in this perspective, this could be where people are doing extreme things just for show, just to stir up something. And there's not really any need for it. So why are you doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I want attention. I'm doing it because I'm the big leader and I can do it. And so this is pushing your agenda. This is pushing people around. This is saying I'm going to do whatever extreme thing I want to do. And what are the extremes related to are going to be Jupiterian themes. So we have this expansion of extremes just to get attention, just to say, look at me, I'm here. And that's not always going to work in the best interest of everybody, especially when you have world leaders who have this kind of power, who can use their energy in ways that are disruptive. And I will watch and see how that plays out on the world stage. And with that said, I do hope you have a peaceful new moon. And until next time, take care and bye for now.